Hello everyone, so I'm with Mr. Zencho Doji, the Technical Director of Bhutan Football Federation. So Mr. Zencho, first of all, thank you for being here. So Mr. Zencho, so joining Bhutan Football Federation as the Technical Director, what are your immediate plans, like initial plans?
Yeah, thanks. It has been almost 7 to 8 months being as a technical director in Bhutan Football Federation. My immediate plan for the federation is, of course, we say generally we want to develop the football, but then if I just mention some of the key elements, I'm just working on just bringing the right people in the federation, especially the technical federation, technical people in the federation. And the other thing is my immediate action would be how to improve the grassroots level in the different districts. And also we can also consider some of our activities from the clubs, where we can collaborate with the clubs, we can make more strong relation with the clubs, so that we can, we can do a lot of program in the grassroots level. And of course, we really want to focus on the elite youth football as well. And also we show the dream to the rest of the young boys who really wants to play for Bhutan. And of course, my immediate, very important thing, one is the senior team, which is like this year we are having a AFC.
Yes.
So that is our main focus right now.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Zencho. So that was a really good answer. So you covered on grassroots, youth, elite, then even having the right person in the team.
Yeah.
So coach, now regarding the team, so how often do you connect with your team members, like the head coach, the physio, sometimes maybe even with some players? Like how often do you connect with them? Do you have workshop meetings, or do you just casually have conversations with them?
Yeah, that is my regular job as of now, because especially when it comes to the technical staff and especially the head coach, we are in regular touch in terms of how we want to go forward. And also we have a youth academy director, Mr. Hide from Japan. Again, I'm regularly touch with Hide, so what we can bring a change to make a better system in academy, and so that we can produce a lot of good young talent. And when it comes to the staff, coaching staff, we are regular touch, because I have been together with them in the same office for the day I joined in Bhutan Football Federation. So I'm trying to get their insight, how they are trying to approach, whether they are happy or not. I think those are a few things that I'm concentrating on right now. And yeah, we are in regular touch. We are seriously discussing on, every week we have a meeting, and we are discussing how we want to go forward, especially for the next academic session. We have been doing a lot of selections. Coaches has been doing last 21 days, has been doing a great job, creating the platform for all the young talent to come and participate in the selection. And I think that's the way how we want to go forward. Yeah, that's the thing.
Thank you, sir. So, Mr. Zencho, you mentioned that you're also going to now focus on grassroots levels and district levels. So, how important do you think local communities are in bringing up grassroots, like helping you to groom grassroots and then bring young talents in the communities, because you can't reach everywhere all at once? So, how important do you think local communities, how important their role is in bringing up and in improving the grassroots levels in their district, so that in the future we have more young talented players? So how important do you think the local communities are?
I think involving all the stakeholders in the federation is crucial. Having all those communities and parents and teachers and all the interested candidates who want to support to football is, I think, very important. To get these people in the boat, I think the federation, we as a technical department, we are taking initiative to create that environment and give some hope, so that the people will come and work with us, regardless of any any challenges. And also, yes, exactly, parents in the districts, schools in the districts, and of course our clubs, who has been always working very hard to investing money and trying to do something in football. So I think these people are very important, and I'm trying to create that system where these people are comfortable to work in football. And yeah, it's very crucial to be part of football, and without these people, I think it's very difficult for us to get into our dream.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Sencho. Now, Mr. Sencho, you mentioned that right now your main focus would be on the senior and men's national football team, because so what were your initial reaction when the fixtures were drawn, like Bhutan in the Group B with Lebanon, Brunei, and then the first match with Yemen? What were your initial reaction on Bhutan being drawn in that group?
Well, like, see, the success of any football team is driven by the result of first team. So if the first team can always perform a better result, and I'm sure that there are a lot of influence from the youth and grassroots, and people really want to participate. So I think again it's another important part. We need to work hand to hand, and if you see in our group, we cannot undermine the team, but then I always keep the hope that we have the possibilities to get into the better result, and it's something like we can qualify for the next round. So which is a great achievement for us, and that will also influence the rest of the football environment in Bhutan. And my thought is, as of now, for me, is nothing, but possibilities of being in that group, we have a high possibilities to
advance.
Yeah, and then I think we have to do the right things for next nine weeks. And yeah, so recently we have decided, the head coach has decided, and the selection committee has decided the 23 list of the national team, which is going to be very competitive, and yeah, the national team is going to start their training from this 23rd. So we have a pretty good time to prepare, and also we are planning to have some friendly match, so which is again the good preparation for the AFC.
Thank you, Mr. Sencho. So yeah, Mr. Sencho, I was going to come to the next question, like the recent announcement of the senior men's national team, the 23 named. So most of the public reactions were quite positive. They were excited to see many young faces, young talents. So how positive are you with this squad right now? Because we can see most of them are like under 20 squad, if I'm not wrong, and we have a few of the senior players. So how positive are you going into the first match with Yemen with this new squad right now?
Yes, as a technical perspective, from the technical side, we do have a young team. But then we do also believe, we do also trust them. And me as a technical director, I let the people do the work without undermining their abilities. And we can do what we can, like for instance, like if we have a better player and then who is not able to play for the national team, but then my job is to get him and then, give him a opportunity to play for the nation. And regardless of the challenges, there are a lot of financial implications, but then I think we should be able to provide that. And then there are certain requirements for the coaches as well, and which again I have to negotiate, and the federation has to negotiate for all the requirements, needs of the players,
Yes.
And but yeah, I think we have a young team, but the very experienced and energetic, very hungry, you know, and especially, you know, as you said, the bunch of young guys who is just ready to play for international. So I'm excited to go for it, you know.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Țețeo, one of the players in the national team, 𝐷𝙚𝙩, not a new face, but then still he was in Australia. So most of the fans, people, they were excited as well as surprised to see 𝐷𝙚𝙩 back. And some of them also wanted to know now how far they also have the opportunity to come. Is it just this time that 𝐷𝙚𝙩, because I believe it's the first time a Bhutanese player from Australia is coming back to represent the country. So they were curious to know if this kind of opportunity would still be there in the future, or is it just like this was first and last time? Will there be more opportunities in the future to see our Bhutanese players returning and then representing the country? So what's your take on that, La?
Yes, again, for me, you know, change is hard. You know, like we as a species of human, sometimes we interpret in the wrong way. But then let me tell you, you know, like for me, in the football industry, this is very normal thing.
Yes.
If you see in other countries, the rest of the national players are playing in the different countries, but then they always call back for to play for the national team. This is something, you know, like again, the main reason why we are calling him is we, as I said earlier, we do have some requirements. For example, like especially in that positions, you know, we don't have a players, right? Okay, that we might say that there is a players, but then again, the level and the quality of the players, experience of the players, and then I think if this is also one good opportunity that we can call our players back to home and play for the country, and the sacrifices they make it, and the support from the federations, you know, I think that communication which can always, you know, drive the performance. I think for me that is the most important.
Mr. That means we have more positive chances that we're going to see more Bhutanese national players coming back. But like you mentioned, the quality, the level, the competence should be there.
And in this regards, you know, I had a serious conversations with the head coach and rest of the committees. The reason why we want to bring him is now 𝐷𝙚𝙩 is playing in one of the league in Australia, right? And then he is playing continuously playing for the, I mean, like football. So I think it's a good positive thing that, you know, the passions and the dedication that he really wants to have. That is another thing.
And it's a motivating factor for other players as well.
Yeah. So I think this is some sort of responsibilities that me as a technical director has to take some bold decision to bring him, and you know, but then it's for the football. But I don't know what the end is going to look like, right? But yes, I think this is the right way to do the things.
Thank you, Mr. Now another thing is now so Bhutan national team, they're preparing for the AFC third round. So how important do you think the first match is going to be? Because we have the home advantage, we have the home crowd supporting. So how important do you think the first match is going to be in your perspective?
Yes. So for me, I think the first match is very crucial because it determines, you know, the rest of the game. You know, like there's a lot of positive thing that if you can get a good result in the first match, and if you can display some good game in the home crowd, I'm sure that you know, the players will be motivated, and they are positive, you know, and also there's a possibilities that we can also perform much better in the second game. So it's very, very crucial again to have a good result in home, and we do have some advantages playing in home game. So so the altitude and crowd, and I'm sure that, you know, most of the Buddhist fans has been, you know, missing this this kind of game moments, you know. So I'm sure that with the support of you know, fans, with the support of federations, with a good preparation timing, and I think we are expecting a good result.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Now, Mr. Țețeo, so you have been working in India as well before you joined BFF. So if you could tell us something on the technical aspect on how different Indian players are and compared to Bhutanese players now, what you have noticed in your experience working down there in India?
I don't see much difference in technical, but then big difference in mental aspects. You know, like if you see in India, the people come there to play just to give everything, you know, and maybe we need to create that sort of environment, you know. The reason could be because of more players in the system, and they have a competitive, and only the best get the chance to play in the top league. I think in Bhutan, when it comes to the mental perspective, for instance, like in India, I have seen in my own team when I was working in I-League, every Indian players has the possibilities that they can turn the table, right? So that's sort of dedication and commitment. Of course, we do have a dedication and commitment. Our players do have, but then I think of course, the mentality to, you know, mentality to win, you know, mentality. So see, there need to be some positive criticism in the team as well. You know, they demand their performance themselves inside the pitch, and of course, not only, you know, the coaches providing the feedback, and so they should be able to do the job day in and day out, you know. And I think that will give us, and this kind of a competition coming up will definitely make them more resilient when it comes to the game.
Okay. So, Mr. Stenjo, so you mentioned about having that positive mindset, as well as being able to take in criticisms. So now you're in the position where you have so many roles and responsibilities. You also have power. You can do things, make changes. Now, how do you cope up with criticisms, whether it's positive or negative? How do you cope up with that?
Well, like, see, for me, first thing, there are certain things I should always ignore. And that is, I think, the best formula to, you know, go forward. And one thing I have already decided is, you are working in the industries where there is a lot of criticism, you know. And if you're not able to take that criticism, then you should step out of the position. So I think as simple as the plate of rice in front of you, right? So for me, the criticism is normal, because every people has a different perspective, because football is not one thing, you know. And I always believe, you know, like, okay, that's how, because, and also the maybe the last 6 or 7 years working in, you know, India, and obviously the India is a diverse country, and I think these things are very normal and very challenging. So for me, I think it's very normal, but criticism sometimes it also helped me to, you know, reflect myself and set the regulations, and those kind of things can all be, you know, helped. At the same time, we should be always positive, obviously, and without having that personal intention, you know. I think sometimes we can reflect on that criticism, what we can do better in. So it's very normal for me.
Okay. So Mr. you said you try to ignore criticism that you think are not going to be helpful for you, and then you learn from the ones that you think and you can improve yourself from those comments. Now, regarding the same issue with players, now, if some players, they're quite disturbed with the criticisms they get, and they come to you, for instance, like they come, coach, or sir, I'm having this kind of problem. So what kind of advice do you give? Like, if you haven't had an incident like that where a player comes to you and says, coach, I had this incident, people are saying bad things, I can't focus now. So how do you motivate those players? Like, what advice do you give to them?
Well, like in Bhutan, as of now, I have not dealt with the players, and I think the head coach Nakamura is he's quite good in that, because he is a guy who can trust, because his intention is very clear, and most of the players in the squad right now, they know very well about Nakamura, and one motivation for them is maybe because of him. And usually what I used to do in during my career or my tenure as a coach, I always try to communicate with them as much as I can. That is the only way I can, I try to understand their personal level. Maybe some players are not happy with the family. They have their financial problems, right? It's very important for me to understand those small details to make the players comfortable. And yes, I have faced that. Most of the players and especially the professional players, they were with me because just because they trust me. So I think we have that kind of environment as of now. And I have seen that Coach Nakamura has been regularly talking with the players, trying to guide them, trying to understand into their personal level, and I think the players are more safe. So which is again the Nakamura is trying to create the safe environment for the players.
Thank you, Mr. Tinchu. So now the next question would be where do you see Bhutan football in the next 5 to 10 years? Like in development wise, in the technical area, or in the team management?
Yeah, I think we have a great future. I would say if you just compare rest of our neighbors country, because the strong point that we have in the federation is we are in the safe hand with our president, right? And yes, the most important thing is we understand football in a different way, and it's important to do the right things, and that consistency has to be always there. And yes, there is some kind of some sort of frustrations, some sort of rocky phases on the journey, but then it's always important to keep the consistency. And the other thing is, I think the possibilities of getting into the top level we can see is the support and the energy that our coaches and the staff has. I think we need to guide them in a better way and make sure that we can show the dream, the visions and all those things, so that we can. And of course, definitely, if we just go in this pace, I'm sure that the football in next 5 years would be in the different level, right? Especially when it comes to the grassroots. I'll give you the just example. If you see now in our national team, you see most of them are under 20, under 21, under 23. Imagine next 5 years if they get more than 40 games in 5 years. I'm telling you, we can dominate the game rest of the So that's kind of sort of a small short term, long term, and goals that. Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Tinchu. Now the final question I'd like to ask is, what kind of a legacy would you like to leave behind?
A legacy, I don't say legacy, but yes, I really want to do something in football, especially when it comes to the development, when it comes to creating the systems in the technical department, and also we can create that legacy. The players coming from the grassroots and youth has some vision and dream to play for the nation, because this we create that system and make that what is the benefit, what is the reward that you will get from the playing as a national player. So my legacy would be just to develop the football and even myself, I want to see football in the next level for the next 5 years.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tinchu. So that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in, and then
Thank you.